Phil and Dean, where to start?
This is for you, Coach.
Mr. Phil, Shiny B here. I want you to know that you were the reason that I came to St. Olaf.
Phil, I will never forget being coached by you at St. Olaf.
Coach Lundin, I can't believe you're finally stepping down. The end of an era is truly over. First of all, I just want to say congrats for a great tenure at St. Olaf College. You and Griff came in with a goal that in a few years you were going to have a national championship, and you guys definitely did that.
Hey Coach, I wanted to say congrats on your retirement. It's well earned. You have a very prestigious career with St. Olaf and the U of M to be proud of.
Thank you, Phil and Dean, for your work in helping shape the lives of hundreds of college runners over the decades. Phil is easily the best leader I've ever worked with. His trademark style of brevity and levity and his ability to make each runner feel important and useful is what stood out to me.
I have many fond memories of walking into your and Griff's office with the intention of talking to the two of you about goals for the team and aspirations in the 10K, and leaving having spent a majority of the past 20 minutes listening to the two of you tell me about whatever classical music you've been listening to recently.
Whenever I would walk into your office, usually you'd be there with Griff, listening to classical music on your computer, and I just always felt welcome to come in and talk about running, about anything, really, and that was a really positive experience for me.
I was lucky enough not only to have you as a coach, but also as an academic advisor and a professor. Actually, one of my fondest memories with you was senior year when I took your sports ethics and society course. And one day you asked me to lecture for you because you just didn't want to. It actually played a really big role in shaping my academic career. And then you took that a step further and you wrote me a recommendation for grad school. So clearly your presence in my life has had effects even after leaving St. Olaf College.
Having learned from you, I exercise prudence every day, and I also, avoid monkey mind and buffoonery. It was just such a fun 4 years. It was truly some of the best times of all time.
You provided me with a place for 4 years where I could fall more and more in love with my sport. And I've found now 7 years into coaching, everything that I do with my kids, it's not about the knowledge that I'm trying to impart on them, or the understanding that I have of technique or anything like that, or the lack thereof. But most importantly, it's about providing them with an atmosphere and a culture wherein they can fall more in love with and invest more deeply in their own sport. That's step one.
Phil's coaching really taught me the importance of just not grinding it out every day, putting an emphasis on recovery, and not really, in his own words, digging yourself into a hole, as a lot of athletes do. And focusing on recovery contributed a lot to any of the success that I had.
Phil taught me to put in the hard work during practice, but then come race day, don't take it 100% seriously. There is an element of running that's fun, so just enjoy it. And that's oftentimes when best races happen. So for that, thank you, Phil.
And everything with that, I got straight from the culture and the program that you and Griff brought to Olaf while I was there. So thank you. Everything I do, all the coaching that I do today, every section, state championship, everything on the wall behind me, and everything that hopefully someday will be added to the wall behind me, you played a part in making that happen.
I want to thank Phil for first taking me on as a second career athlete. I joined the cross country and track and field team my junior year at St. Olaf after competing with the men's soccer team my freshman and sophomore year. Thanks for allowing me to find a new passion.
I didn't know running sprints in college was going to turn me into a lifelong distance runner or provide such an impact on my life. Your influence to be serious about the task at hand, never any monkey mind, has trained me well to succeed in life. However, the more important lesson, to never stop having fun or missing an opportunity at a joke, be it about Sven and Oli or just a really good story, has shown me that life should be full of fun, mirth, and just a jolly good time.
I really just appreciate all the work and the effort that you put into making the team and the people on it the best that they could be. And you really helped me with realizing that it doesn't take a whole lot of things, just a few nice ones that you really care about to be happy. So,
did you ever tell someone they couldn't run because they were
Right.
too slow? I can't think of a single person.
I think that's the great thing too, you know, is obviously recruiting before people went to St. Olaf, but then also like grabs you. You started your sophomore year, right?
Yeah, I brought you in.
You
Bold.
were, you know, you ran, you placed at a conference one time, right? Didn't
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, and sub 2
Yeah.
in the 800.
So you never know, you know, what type of athlete someone
do a
can
lot with
become.
mediocrity.
And there was a lot of active discussion about cutting the team down to size, or a more reasonable size, and I don't think I've ever really gotten to say thank you for not doing that, because for quite a while I would have been, you know, one of the first people gone, but the fact that they didn't has really changed pretty much everything for me since college, because, you know, so many of my friends have been from cross country and track, and a lot of my interests, so I still run every now and then, and I've actually Nordic ski quite a bit and bike, and so I probably wouldn't have been as interested in endurance sports for as long as I have been if I had been, you know, cut from the team.
It never mattered with him, you know, who you were or how fast you ran. It was, you know, bus leaves at 7, and there's a sumptuous sack lunch packed for all you rugrats.
And like if they'd been cutting mediocre runners, like I would have.
You'd be gone.
I would have been booted from
For
the
sure,
team,
you'd be gone.
Like my freshman year.
I would not have joined.
They hated me because I wanted to play frisbee. So Phil and Griff hated that, and then I would climb on the climbing wall a lot. Do you guys when Phil would walk by the?
Yes.
Every single walk by.
Ascend.
I do have one short story from a nationals trip. We were basically at the gas station picking out some melatonin because we had forgotten to bring it, and we wanted it because we felt that it would help us sleep, you know, the night before the prelims. So we were at the gas station and we were checking out at the counter, and the cashier asked us if we wanted a bag for the bottle of melatonin. And you said, "Oh, no thanks, we'll finish it on the way." And the cashier said, "Well, I really don't think that's a good idea." to finish all that melatonin. And I don't remember what you said after that, but I was just laughing, and I laughed all the way out of the store.
I often quote, much to the horror of innocent bystanders, some of your many mantras. When I'm stiff,
I should be limber.
And limber where I should
be stiff, and a good runner should be skin, bone, and pecker.
I still use many philisms in my daily speech. Whenever people ask me how I am, I typically will respond with upright and employed, or upright and taking nourishment.
I think you could probably fill a book with Phil's still raising sayings, but I wanted to share a couple that stuck out to me, or at least a couple that I remember. As many know, the Olaf men wear formal clothes with team-created letter sweaters before races. And in 2012, which was my sophomore year, we made a new batch and gave one to Phil and Griff. 2012 was also the year we won the first of our 4 consecutive MIAC championships, and we were all really excited and proud of what we'd accomplished. And we were also interested to hear what Phil had to say, because he was the last one to get on the bus. And I remember that instead of him giving this long speech about the significance of the team victory or individual performances that stood out, he just took a look at us and said, "Well, it must have been the goddamn sweaters." And everyone went nuts.
Fast forward another year to the next one. This was the big one in Hanover 2013. So after we pass out bibs the night before the race, we're all pretty nervous and whatnot. And as it concludes, Griff walks out and says, "Well, I have nothing to say." Classic Griff. And then Phil chimes in, "Well, boys, if you're not jacked for this one, you're screwed." And yeah, he was right, because we responded the next morning, and the stars aligned, like he said in his post-race interview. And it was a great day to be an Ole.
But I also think that, I mean, even if we hadn't gotten to the heights that we got to, that just teaching us to take ownership for ourselves and allowing us to be a part of something bigger than ourselves, and to work hard and strive and be the best people that we could be. That was, it allowed us to transform from 17 or 18-year-old boys and then graduating 4 years later, I guess as men. Well, kind of men, almost men.
Phil had like this outrageous, like kind of almost contagious, positive attitude towards life. For example, like, boys, this will be the greatest meet in the history of St. Olaf College. I remember thinking, like, why would Phil say that? Like, it's just the Tosrud Quadrangular. Like, it's probably not going to be the greatest meet in the history of St. Olaf College. Like, I certainly wouldn't think so. And, like, you don't believe it. And you know that when Phil says that, like, he doesn't even believe it. So, like, everyone starts laughing. And it's, like, a joke. But, like, at the same time, you almost wonder, like, what if? Like, maybe it will be the greatest meet in the history of St. Olaf College. I think that kind of just, like, excessive positive attitude, just, like, sort of, it's not something that just is confined to track and field and cross-country races. Like, I think you can bring that into all areas of life. And I have applied that kind of technique to my own life. And, and it's something that, like, you might have something important coming up and you're not that excited for it. It seems like you just have to go through the motions, but, like, you kind of think, like, hey, maybe this could be the greatest, like, test of my life or the greatest presentation or project of my life. Why not? That's probably what Phil would say that it would be. And so it's like, it's just a really effective way to, like, sort of approach things in life and to just, like, be excited that, like, every day is a great opportunity and could be, like, the greatest day of your life. Why not?
I was a senior in high school. I wasn't even sure running was going to be part of my future or something that I was going to do at the collegiate level. But you recruited me heavily and made me feel like you wanted me, and that meant a lot to me. And for that reason, I decided to come to St. Olaf and continue running. And through the sport itself, I've gained many life skills, and I just miss it, and I miss the team, and I miss you guys. And it was a great 4 years, and I wouldn't change it for anything in the world.
You were a Division I coach. You had it all at the U. You coached Division I All-Americans and national champions, and I think you coached some Olympians. And so I don't think anyone had any illusions about how lucky we were to have a coach of your caliber at St. Olaf. But with all of that leverage that you could have had, I don't think I ever saw you once just bring that up and say, hey guys, don't you know I was a national coach of the year in Division I? You always made yourself more of an equal partner.
Bill, I just want to say thank you for all the time you committed to me and to the team. I think that you've made a much bigger impact probably to the team, to the Big O, than you realize.
Don't underestimate the opportunities that you gave kids and that you gave your athletes. And a simple opportunity goes a long way. And I think that is what I'll recall most and be most grateful for, is those opportunities you gave me to not just excel on the track, but then become a member of a team and a community that's changed my life.
I definitely think running with the team was the best part of my college experience.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Like that, joining the team was the smartest decision I made.
Mm-hmm.
So, and Phil was a big part of that.
You set an example of humility when times were good, a Scandinavian stoicism when they weren't, and a great sense of humor through it all. For that, I'd like to say thank you, Phil.
I sure hope that retirement treats you better than we treated you at Olaf sometimes, whether it was complaints from administrators about seeing seas of birds while we were running down Ole Ave, complaints about streaking, or complaints from hotel rooms about how utterly destroyed their rooms were. We definitely put you through some stuff sometimes, and I'm sure it wasn't enjoyable. But I can say for sure that the whole school and all of the athletes at Olaf are going to miss the hell out of you.
I hope in retirement you can get some more time to spend across the world with your family, or drinking scotch, or seeing the fall leaves. But whatever you decide to do with your time, you've really earned it, and I have a lot of respect for you. So
I'm so incredibly grateful to have run for a pair of men like you and Griff. I hold the two of you in the highest esteem, and I have the utmost respect for both of you.
I wish you the best in retirement. You were the best coach that any of us guys could have ever asked for, and I hope to see you real soon.
St. Olaf is losing a legend, losing an institution, and I hope that your replacement is even half the coach that you are, because even at half the coach that you are, I think St. Olaf will be in good hands.
Hey Coach Phil, this is Alex Coondog Coons calling to congratulate you on a great season and a wonderful career. All I gotta say is retirement sounds like a wonderful opportunity.
In any case, good luck, Phil. I'm really proud to call you a coach and friend, and I hope I'll see you around.
So, thank you for everything. I hope that you have the best retirement. I hope that many times a week you get to have nights where you sit in front of the fire with a double scotch. It's the least you deserve.
Coach Phil, nothing but the best. Let's get a fish fry on this side of the pearly gates. How about that?
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Thank you, Phil.
Fuck.
Is it thank you, Phil, or thanks, Phil?
Thank you, Phil.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 words.
Thank you, Phil.
It's on 3. You guys all waited.
All right, ready? We're gonna do it like a symphony. Ready?